Hello everyone and welcome to my latest Rust Quickie. In today's Quickie I want to talk about functions and how you can use functions to structure your code in a more efficient way. So let's switch over to Visual Studio Code where I want to demonstrate functions to you. A function in Rust is defined with the fn keyword. A function has a name. A function can accept multiple parameters. We have here a function without any parameters, and a function by default doesn't return any value, so it's the same as the void keyword in C, C++, and C#. To be precise, a function returns as a result an empty tuple. So as you can see with that syntax, you define the return type of a function, and I'm defining here an empty tuple as the result. So this is the default return type. You can write it, but you don't need to write it. So both function definitions are just the same. So we have defined that function, say hello world, and then we can call that function. So let's run that code. And as you can see, we print out the string hello world with the print line macro. I have here another function which just calculates the power of a given number. As you can see, that given number is supplied through the parameter x, and we calculate the power with the value of n, and we return a 32-bit integer value as a result. So how can we return now a result from a function in Rust? As you can see, I'm using here the pow method of the i32 data type to calculate the result. I'm storing the result in a variable, and then I'm just returning that result. And as you can see, in Rust, you don't have by default a return keyword. You just supply the value or the variable that you want to return without any semicolon, and that's just the return value. So this is a little bit different as in other languages which are based on C. Of course, you can also write here return result semicolon, and this code would also compile, but it would also compile when we just provide here a result. So when we do a cargo build command, you can see the compilation just works. Of course, we don't even need to store the result of that method call into a variable, so we can also remove that in a way like that. Just think about it. Means that method call to pow also provides you a result, and that result is returned by that function. So when we run that function now, let's comment that out where we call that function. Let's do a cargo run command. You can see 2 by the power of 8 equals to 256. So this is a very nice, efficient way to return a value from a function call in Rust. You don't really need the return keyword. When you just supply a value or a variable, you just have to be sure that you don't terminate that expression with a semicolon. A function in Rust doesn't need to return you a scalar value. You can also return a tuple, and the tuple itself again consists of individual scalar values. I'm defining here a function called tuple return values. We have two input parameters, parameter x, parameter y. Both are integer values, and I'm returning a tuple which consists of two integer values just as a result. So what we are doing here, we multiply x by x, we multiply y by y. That result is stored in a tuple, and we bind that result to the variable result, and then we just return that variable result. As you already know, we have written here more code than we need in Rust, because we don't need to define here a variable, so we can remove that. We remove the semicolon, we remove that result here, and we only have that expression. So we define that tuple x multiplied by x, y multiplied by y, and that will be the result of that function call. We are calling here that function. We store the result in the variable result, which is a tuple, and then we print out both parts of the tuple with the print line macro. So let's run that code, and as you can see, 2 multiplied by 2 equals 4, and 4 multiplied by 4 equals 16. So that's the idea of functions in Rust. So thanks for watching my Rust Quickie today about functions, and I'm already looking forward to welcome you next week again, where I want to talk in more detail about the if statement in Rust. Thank you.